I'm Darren Fuquay. I'm here at Wichita Speedway for the Chisholm Trail Showdown. It's our finale for the year, so we're hoping that the Big Time Bell Bonds 87 and TOS Oilfield Service has a good weekend and a good showing.
This here on this Friday night. Caution lights have been turned off 20 times around. Off at turn number 4, green flag waves. It is showtime. As the field rolls off into turn numbers 1 and 2, we're still side by side for that top spot. 4 wide back in the field as they exit turn 2 into turn number 3. Working lap number 1 down off of turn 4 to the front straightaway. It's going to go to the 55B of Brian Davidson. Brian Davidson in that 55B grabs the top spot as they head down the back straightaway. 20 times around, your B-Mod Championship event here on night number 1, side by side off of 4 as the 21B of Brandon Kinney out of Woodward, Oklahoma, now challenging for that top spot. They stay almost side by side as they exit turn number 2, now down the back straightaway. In that number 3 spot is Mark Schaffman. He's out of Edwardsville, Kansas. As your top 3 start to break away from the field just a little bit, entering turn number 1, your B-Mods Championship event here on night number 1. Still side-by-side action down the back straightaway for that top spot. They can't get away from each other. Brandon Kinney, the 21B, the B55 of Brian Davidson. Still side-by-side. Watching the action is Mark Schaffman. He's in that 44X. Those 3 cars now starting to pull away from the field here. 20 times around, what we're working our way to may have a leader this time clear off of turn number 4. It's going to be the 21B of Brandon Kinney. Kinney out of Woodward, Oklahoma. Nose to tail, your top 3 cars off of turn 2, down the back straightaway to turn number 3. Brandon Kinney, the 21B out of Woodward, Oklahoma, is still challenging Schaffman in the 44X. And the B55 of Brian Davidson. The remainder of the field looking good as they go down the front side into turn numbers 1 and 2. Your leader's already entering turn number 4, though. Still the top 3 cars. Now another challenge for that top spot side by side. The 44X of Schaffman grabs the momentary lead. Now over at turn 2, puts a slide on. If he can hold it, he'll lead him down the back straightaway. Brandon Kinney in the 21B, still right there. Your B-Mods putting on a show here on night number 1. Kinney now back to the top spot. That's your 4th lead change in 8 laps. Your top 3 cars exiting turn number 2. Now just about a half a turn margin. Our 4th place car right out there by himself, the number 92 of Jeffrey Kopp. As your leaders make their way down the front straightaway, the 21B, Brandon Kinney, leads the field into turn numbers 1 and 2. Now starting to get a little save on our 2nd place car. Mark Schaffman says, I've had enough. He's off the turn number 2 and back into the infield. So all by himself now off of turn number 4. It's Brandon Kinney out of Woodward, Oklahoma, the 21B. Brian Davidson in the 2 spot. The 92 of Jeffrey Kopp in your 3rd spot, and now your leader spins it over there in turn number 1 and 2.
Somebody blew a motor, I think the 44. There's a lot of moisture in 1 and 2. That's what he hit and spun it. There's a lot of moisture in 1 and 2, and we're going to have to throw out a caution and take care of that.
Well, you can see that. We missed it up here in the condo, but you can see some moisture exiting turn number 1. Going to Jeffrey Kopp out of Woodward. Off of turn number 4, they check him down. Green flag waves, and we're back underway. Good start for the 21B of Kopp, and a good start for the 92 of Jeffrey Kopp. 21B of Brandon Kinney, side by side going into turn number 3 once again for that top spot. The 92 of Kopp had to hit the binders, and that will allow Kinney down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Again, your top 3 cars nose to tail. A little bit of contact between the 2nd and 3rd place car. That'll be the 92 of Kopp and the B55 of Davidson. They separate going into turn number 3 with a little bit of room off of turn number 4. The 21B of Brandon Kinney, your leader. Now the B55. Brian Davidson grabs that number 2 spot from Jeffrey Kopp in the 92. Kopp will go back into the number 3 position. As the field enters turn 3, your leaders down the front straightaway. Brandon Kinney, the 21B, about a 5-6 car margin as he goes into turn number 1. Your Sport Mod or the B Mods championship event. 13 laps down into the books, working our way to 20. Good action back there in the field as the 21B of Kinney brings him off of turn number 4. That is lap number 14 of 20. Working our way through the field. B55 of Brian Davidson now holding down a solid number 2 spot. The 92 of Jeffrey Kopp, also out of Woodward, Oklahoma, rounding out your top 3 as the 21B of Kinney brings us to a caution. A car up there on the top side of the Speedway. It looks like that would be Jerry Brown probably in the X car. He's out of Prescott, Kansas. Brings us to our second caution here in your B-Mod Championship event. This one to wrap up night number 1. We're down off of turn number 4. Little action off of turn number 4. Everybody's okay and we're under green. Kopp tried to get a little advantage. Didn't work for him, but he's going to hold on to that number 2. Davidson, the B55. Your leaders, here comes Weens now in the 18 car. He says, I want to check this thing out. Everybody completes lap number 15. Your leader, still the 21B of Brandon Kinney. He's out of Woodward, Oklahoma. The 92, Jeffrey Kopp out of Woodward. The B55 of Brian Davidson out of Bennington. But the field is kind of caught up with your top 3 cars now as Alex Weens in the 18. Kyle Weens holding down that number 4 spot, trying to advance on your top 3 cars, bringing the field with him. Your field down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Still the 21B of Brandon Kinney, about a 3-4 car margin as he exits turn number 4. The 92 of Jeffrey Kopp. He's got Davidson, the B55, right on the backside. Oh, the caution comes out again. We've got a drive shaft, apparently, track official saying in turn 3, and this one's going to be off of the X car, Jerry Brown, as he rolls to a stop up here on the top side of turn number 4. City. The field gathers it up off of turn number 4. Green flag waves. We've got 3 laps to go. Davidson in that B55 right on the backside. Davidson going to move into second. Now the 92 of Kopp in danger. They're going to be 3 wide back there for third into 3. Off of turn numbers 3 and 4. A little bit of bumping going on back in the field. It's still Kinney, your leader. Davidson in second in that B55. As the field makes its way off of turn number 2, we've got a couple of cars over in between number 1 and 2. We'll check the field to a caution as a couple of cars bringing us over there into turn number 1 and 2. On that guy out of Arc City in the 15, he's been a late one coming up. We go off of turn number 4 to a green. Kinney, good restart for him. Davidson, and a good restart for Kopp in the 92. Denny in the 15, running in the top 4. Off of turn number 4, we're going to look at a white flag this time for the 21B of Brandon Kinney, Davidson, Kopp, and Denny. The field into turn number 1 and 2. Your leader down the back straightaways. Got the B55 of Davidson right on the backside. Here comes Kinney making a challenge for the 3 spot. Your checkered flag is out. At the finish line, it's going to be Brandon Kinney, Davidson, Kopp, and Denny.
Give him a round of applause here at 81 Speedway for your winner tonight, Brandon Kinney.
You can go ahead and talk to him.
Well, first of all, it was a great run between you and Mark Schaffman there for a while. Slide jobs and everything else. First 8 laps, 4 lead changes, but then things settled down.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough racing surface to get figured out. I wasn't real sure if I was in the right groove, but when he slid me, made me feel like I could drive a little bit harder and got it done.
Let's talk about that. The track seemed to change a little bit throughout the race. What was the toughest part of the race?
Mainly figuring out where to run in 1 and 2 because it's pretty slick all the way to the top, but there's just a touch of moisture on the top that I found towards the end of the race and liked it.
Who do you want to thank?
Boom Test Well Service, Mud Hog Services, and Ramirez Race Cars.
There he is, your winner tonight, Brandon Kenny.
Us to green as we are set to do it. Down go the caution lights. Ladies and gentlemen, here come the USMTS Modifieds. It's showtime! Out comes the green. Adam Cates will jump to the race lead from the inside of the front row in 23. Ryan McInish will come right with him in 52. It'll be Cates, McInish, 1-2. Then it's Newell Sanders trying to take a look to the outside of Kenny Sweet there side by side. Sweet going to take that spot. He'll move to third. Here goes Sweet in 87. Down the front straightaway here, McInish will take a look to the inside of Adam Cates. Cates, however, fended him off for the time being. Down the back straightaway, Rodney Sanders trying to make that extreme top side work. A little contact. Sanders in 20, Newell in 22, but Rodney will race by. He'll go to third in 20. Down the front straightaway, it's Adam Cates, Ryan McInish, Sanders, Newell, Sweet, the top 5. Outside of the top 5, good battle. Here goes the 21T of Lance Town. Town has gone to the inside of the 21. Logan Robertson's right there along with a pair of 4 cars. Dan Powers in 4-star, Derek Ramirez in 4R right outside of the top 5. Lance Town is rolling. That 21T car to the front. He is up to 4th. Lance Town just passed 3 cars there. He's up to 4th. Sanders now on the move as well. Rodney Sanders getting racy with Ryan McInish down the back straightaway. They'll run side by side for second. Logan Robertson, Kenny Sweet side by side. They will battle outside of the top 5 here, but your race leader continues to be Adam Cates in 23. Adam Cates, Ryan McInish, Rodney Sanders, Lance Town, and Logan Robertson. Robertson out of the top 5. Kenny Sweet taking a look to the inside. Here comes Derek Ramirez as well. Ramirez, Dan Powers, and Kenny Sweet now 3 wide. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Rodney Sanders again trying to take a look to the inside of McInish in 52. Boy, good battles here for a couple of positions. They're 3 wide outside of the top 10 as well. Brian Franz, the 16 of Austin, Siebert, and Stormy Scott there were 3 wide for a moment. They've straightened themselves out just a bit. Down the front straightaway, though, it's still Cates, McInish, Sanders, Town, and Robertson. Again, outside of the top 5, Dan Powers is 6th, Derek Ramirez is 7th, Kenny Sweet is 8th, Austin Siebert is 9th, and we'll see who's 10th of the line this next time by. It might be Stormy Scott. They're 3 wide for 10th. Stormy Scott, Brian Franz, and Kevin Newell 3 wide of the start-finish line. Let's see if they are again. Stormy going to take that spot away again. Take a look to the lead. Boy, we've got action everywhere. Back up front, Sanders and McInish now side by side. Rodney Sanders trying to take that second spot away. Adam Cates cruising along up front in 23K. Continues to be Cates. McInish able to fend off Sanders for now. Adam Cates, Ryan McInish, Rodney Sanders, and soon to be Lance Town. Town is running them down in a hurry in 21T. Lance Town wants to make it a 4-car battle for the lead. He's about to do it. Down the front straightaway, it's Cates, McInish. Sanders may have taken second. He does. Rodney Sanders now second in 20. McInish third. Fourth is the 21 of Town. Lance Town trying to take third. Lance Town is rolling that 21T. Lance Town just went to the inside of the 52 of McInish. He'll take third. Down the front straightaway this time by, it'll be Adam Cates, Rodney Sanders, Lance Town, 1, 2, 3. Derek Ramirez with a move. Derek Ramirez, a bold move down to the inside. He'll take 5th from Robertson. Logan Robertson going to cross back underneath him. They'll run side by side. Meanwhile, Rodney Sanders now stalking down Adam Cates for the race lead. Cates has led so far. Sanders trying to take a peek down to the bottom. We're 10 in, 20 to go. Off turn 4, new leader, it's Sanders. Rodney Sanders by a nose of the start-finish line. Cates is second. Town is third. Ryan McInish still sitting in the 4th spot of the 52. Derek Ramirez is 5th. Dan Powers is 6th. Logan Robertson 7th. Stormy Scott is 8th. Kenny Sweet is 9th. And Austin Siebert 10th. Derek Ramirez is trying to roll down the top 5. He's gotten to 5th now. He's going to have to try to run down your race leader. Sanders your leader. Town with a slider. Lance Town going to take that second spot for a moment. Adam Cates going to try to take it back. Lance Town going to go on the move here. He'll take second. McInish up and over the groove there for a moment. He saved it. Down the front straightaway, though, it'll continue to be Sanders. Now Lance Town into that second spot. Remember, Town Oilfield Service.
Car on the back straightaway.
Trouble. In turn number 2, that's Johnny Scott. So caution out just prior to the halfway point of this. Johnny Scott's Black Widow race car rolling to a halt. On the scoreboard, 17 to go. Sanders back to green, your leader in 20. Lansdowne off the gas, that for just a second. Down the back straightaway, Town will drop back a spot, maybe two. McInish, a great start. Ryan McInish going to run down to the inside of Adam Cates. He'll try to take second. Down the front straightaway, it'll be Rodney Sanders. Let's see who gets to that second spot. Down the front chute, it is Cates in 23. Adam Cates will hang out a second for now. Lansdowne again going to take a look down to the bottom in 21. McInish and Ramirez still the top 5. Good battle behind him. Stormy Scott a good run here. Stormy now to 7th. Keep your eye on Stormy Scott. He started 20th. Stormy Scott started outside of row number 10 alongside of his twin brother Johnny. He's up to 7th, working on 2nd. That 6-car pack right there. They're going to go 3 wide. Catestown, McInish, Dan Powers now on the outside. Keep your eye on Powers. A good run. He'll go by Ramirez into the top 5. Dan Powers is up to 5th. Ramirez is 6th. Stormy is 7th. But Rodney Sanders long gone up front in 20. Down the front straightaway, it is all Rodney Sanders as we go by the halfway point. Adam Cates and Lansdowne door-to-door here down the back straightaway. Powers now to 4th. Dan Powers moving up one more spot. McInish and Derek Ramirez now side-by-side on a 5th spot as well. Ramirez trying to roll down to the bottom of the racetrack. Stormy still 7th. Robertson 8th. Vanderbeek 9th. And Brian France trying to take 10th from Kenny Sweet here off turn 4. Oh, trouble in turn number 1. Heads up, look out in turn number 1. We've got one around. That is McInish in 52. He and Ramirez may have gotten into contact. Scott, did you see that happen?
Yeah, they did. They got together. Ramirez got loose, and McInish had nowhere to go. It was almost like a synchronized slide. And
here we go. Rodney Sanders ready to bring us back to green with 13 to go in 20. Back to green. Sanders will take the lead one more time. Battle for second. Staying side by side. Lansdowne will slide up just a bit. Take second. Towns now to the second spot of the 21T. Cates is 3rd. Ramirez again with a move. Derek Ramirez may get to 2nd here in a moment. Ramirez to 3rd and 4. Derek Ramirez went from 5th to 3rd down the back straightaway. He's working on Lansdowne. Ramirez now to the inside of the 4RE in town side by side. Stormy Scott's not out of this yet. Dan Powers either in 4. A great battle down the back straightaway. Zach Vanderbeek picking his way through traffic as well. Trying to get by Logan Robertson into 7th here as they're side by side as well. Down the back straightaway. When we come by this next time, it'll be 10 to go for Rodney Sanders in 20. Sanders in 20, Town in 21, Ramirez in 4, Cates in 23. And we'll see who's 5th at the line this next time by. It'll be Powers or it'll be Stormy Scott. It'll be Powers. Dan Powers 5th, then it's Stormy, then it's Vanderbeek, then it's Robertson, then it's Sweet and Dave Kane. Kane out of the top 10. Dave Kane has cracked the top 10 in 2C, but Rodney Sanders, as we said, gone up front in 20. Sanders rolls by the start-finish line. Town holding off the 4R of Ramirez for now. Stormy Scott again going to take a look to the inside of the 4 of Dan Powers. That's a good battle there. Powers, Scott, and Adam Cates. Almost a career run here for Adam Cates as he is having a great run tonight. Been in the top 5 all night. Lansdowne has had a bad fast race car. Trying to hold off Derek Ramirez here for 8 more trips around. Ramirez now with a good run. Derek Ramirez down to the bottom in 4. They're side by side. Sanders continues to lead. Ramirez going to pull a slider. Derek Ramirez now going to move by to the 2nd spot. Can he hang on to it? He will. Ramirez now 2nd. Town is 3rd. Cates is 4th. Stormy now to the top 5. Stormy from 20th into 5th and 2. Stormy into 5th, working on Cates for 4th. Powers and Vanderbeek right there. A 4-car battle outside of the top 3. Then it's Robertson, Kane, and Sweet. So with 5 to go this next time by, it'll be Rodney Sanders, Derek Ramirez, Lansdowne, Adam Cates, and Stormy Scott. Top 5. Then Dan Powers, Zach Vanderbeek, Logan Robertson, Dave Kane, and Kenny Sweet, the top 10. Again, outside of the top 10, it'll be Scott Green, Brian Franz, McGehee, Fuquay, and the 16 of Siebert. That'll be your top 15. Outside of them, it'll be Lassiter, Campbell, Peterson, Looks like McInish still out there, Arneson, Fuller, and Kevin Newell will be the first driver to go a lap down here with 4 to go for Rodney Sanders as we have circled all the way around. Joe Duvall's out there as well in 91. Lap traffic now will maybe play a factor. Rodney's got a big advantage, but I don't think he knows how big his lead is, as he's going to have to be careful through lap traffic. Adam Cates with trouble on the back straightaway, and the caution will blink on for the 3rd time here, as Adam Cates was in the wall trying to limp his way off with a yellow blinked on. 20 down, Scott and Powers. Top 5, 3 to go. Coming back to green for Rodney Sanders in 20. Under green again, Sanders will go to the top of the racetrack. Lance Town going to try to slide in front of Derek Ramirez. He will. Town now going to take that 2nd spot. Derek going to fire back on the outside of the 4. They'll drag race into turn number 3, side by side. 2 to go this time by at the line for Sanders. In 20, does Town have him cleared? He does not. Derek will take 2nd back in 4. Good side-by-side battle for the runner-up spot. Derek Ramirez, Lance Town, Stormy Scott trying to sneak by maybe both of them. Down the back straightaway, Stormy with a good run down the back straightaway in 2. Into turn 3 this time by. White flag will be in the air. Austin Arneson bouncing off the wall, but the white flag is out for Rodney Sanders in 20. One more trip around the 81 Speedway in the opening night of the Park City Chisholm Trail Showdown. Down the back straightaway, Stormy Scott just cleared to 3rd in 2. Into turn 3, though, and out of turn number 4, a dominating victory for Rodney Sanders in 20. Sanders, your winner in 20.
Well, congratulations. A little redemption from last year on night 1. You still got 3 more grand to win tomorrow night. But tell me about the run tonight. Good 30 laps by you.
Yeah, it was a good run for us. I mean, the track was pretty top dominant. Adam Cates ran a great race at the beginning, and ended up getting by him. But I saw Derek and Stormy there on the board, so I figured they were probably charging hard. But I can't say enough about our team. Brad, my dad, everyone that helps us out, Wichita Tank Racing, Swan Energy, MVT, Lancetown, TOS. Randy Timms, Western Flyer, MB Custom, Hatfield, all the fans for coming out. I know it's cold, so hopefully we can be a little warmer tomorrow.
Were you willing just to ride for the first 10, 12 laps, and it seemed like as soon as somebody bobbled, then you just jumped on them and took advantage of that opportunity?
Yeah, I kind of got held up there the first couple laps, and I was just trying to be patient. I knew, there was a few, 30 laps, so I didn't want to, do anything stupid. I know we had a pretty good car, so yeah, we're just kind of riding, and we were pretty good on the bottom too. So yeah, we're just trying to bide our time and have something at the end.
Now, you won tonight, and you've had a lot of success here in the past, but tomorrow night's another $1,000. It's $3,000 win tomorrow night. Did you learn anything tonight that maybe you want to change a little bit to get ready for tomorrow night?
Maybe a little bit. I guess we'll just have to watch the track and see what it all does. I mean, it was pretty slimy starting out tonight. And I'm not sure how it'll be tomorrow, but yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on it and go from there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Rodney Sanders, tonight's winner of the Chisholm Trail Showdown.